Hello, I'm that casual gaming guy, and welcome to another episode of Tall Oaks Zoo. In this episode, we're going to finish up this whole front of zoo area with our Africa building. We're going to do some of the beautification and the staff buildings on the East/South Asia side. Now, off camera, I did put the base for the Africa building in, as well as the extension of the Americas building, just so that way I would have a rough idea of what was needed. And then I started getting into the Africa side where the staff building is. Now, one of the things I did differently on this side was, instead of having an open space on the one side, I went ahead and just enclosed it, but still kept the double section, if you will, for aesthetics. Putting these individual logs in, man, that was a task right there. That's what that was. It was interesting to say the least, but turned out, I think, really good. It matches the wall really well and just looks awesome to me. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? Do you not? Comment down below. Now, with the archways and how they kind of clip into the path, I am pretty sure that we will be seeing some staff members clipping through that stuff. But, you know, it looks good, right? You know, what do they say? Beauty is pain. One of the things I really liked about the pieces in this theming was these curved walls. I don't know why I enjoy them more than the other themes. It might have something to do with the detailing that's already on the mud walls. I really enjoy that. Now, these stacks. This is where we get a little bit too tall. Now, originally I was just going to do them individual flooring and stuff, but I was having issues with the game and stuff, so I was like, nah, never mind. But these added an almost unnecessary height, especially when I had it go up further. So, as you'll see here in a second, to do towers. But what I kept out of them, I think, is awesome. I'm not too sure if it was the angles that I was working with or what that just hindered some of the placement of items. It was just weird. But now we're going to get into the decorations here. And of course, we know we need some windows to make it look like a building. And then I was just kind of going through figuring out what I could put up there. And then I settled on these shields. And so I figured, yeah, that looks really cool, you know? So yeah, that's what we wound up with. The masks, I think, are my favorite part of the interior of this archway. I just love those masks, and the animal drawings are really cool too. But those masks are awesome. And of course, now we're working on the staff entrance, and these mosaic kind of animal tile signs are just really nice in my opinion. I use them also on the info booth building too, so it's pretty cool. And I was just looking for things, you know, okay, how can I decorate? And I decided, okay, well, let's just do the awnings. You know, tried to do the awnings for the opening of the archway going into the staff areas, but it just didn't work. The awnings over the windows, however, does work. So picking this pillar or column to hide the gap between the two buildings actually led to the inspiration to create the sections on the quote-unquote second floor for the shields. And then that leads me to the lighting, actually. So, yeah. Alrighty, now we are going to start on the beautification. I believe off screen I did the fencing for both sides, keeping in with the theme. And I was going to go really detailed, really elaborate with this foliage and stuff, but then I thought, you know, it looks fine just like that. As far as the East Asia side, just with the cherry blossom trees and the flowers I used. And then now I'm trying to figure out what to do on the Americas side that doesn't block a lot of the stuff that's on the building. And I decided to go with this tree and surround it with goldenrod. I think it turned out pretty awesome. The only thing is I started to do it to cover the light that I used to light that side of the building so you can see the elephants. But then it's off center, and then if you get over here, it's really off center. So yeah, it was just one of those things that I had to wind up fixing, and the light kind of becomes visible, but that's okay. No one should be looking at that anyways, right? I knew that I wanted some type of foliage on the ground on the Africa side, but I just didn't know how to create it. And then I thought, well, why don't we sink these trees into the ground so they look like bushes? Because I had seen other YouTubers do that, and I'd never done that before. And I think it turned out really awesome and looks so nice. So now one of the things that I wanted was a couple of like animal sculptures here and there in each section, and I tried to go with what would be in said section. So I used the deer or stags here for the Americas. I do pandas here for the Asias, and I believe, yeah, hippo and a gorilla for Africa. And actually the hippos will be the first thing I think I put in on the Africa side, but that's not for a while. All right, now we're going to start on our staff buildings, and I decided this time to do it from scratch, not use the pre-made East Asia themed staff buildings like I did in Arcalay Zoo as far as using pre-made stuff. Mainly to kind of flex my creative bones here. And I really enjoy how it turned out. It's so awesome to me. I mean, it's basic but awesome. I also tried to keep with the same style, as far as putting the stone down than the brick, as I did with the building for the entrance area. So that way it's not seamless isn't quite the right word, but that's the word I feel like using. As far as that's the closest thing I can think of. Now this is awesome to me. I went ahead and made an awning that stretched this part here where the two buildings, or multiple buildings, face each other, to make some shade for the staff. And it just, again, I know I'm just flattering myself with my words and stuff, and talking about my work, but it really is stuff that if I hadn't done the awnings for the info booths and the restrooms building, and I hadn't watched other YouTubers do this, I would not have thought of this. And I'm just eternally grateful to just the inspiration to do this. Now, originally here I was going to put something like ivy or something over it, or a bush or wisteria or something. It just didn't work out, so they stay plain and they still look really well. Now, I tried to do unique things with the roofs on each three of these buildings, and with this one I decided to go with what I have on the top of the Asia building. As you can see in this shot right here, you see that I knocked down the height on those entryway buildings already, and changed up the end caps, kind of. I mean, that's the only word I can think of. The roof pieces, the roof decorations. Haha! We got there in the end, guys. My brain still works. And give me a break. I'm recording 3 episodes worth of dialogue here. Just so I can stay ahead of the game, take a little, break. And so my husband doesn't get mad at me for not spending time with him. Although he's sick right now. It's currently the 12th of January. This episode won't come out for another week and a half or so. But so I'm assuming he's better by now. He better be better by now. Otherwise, I'm taking him to a doctor whether he likes it or not. But yeah, as you can tell, my voice is starting to give a little. And my brain's just fried with all talking about this stuff. But anyways, these right here that are kind of reminiscent of the ones I did earlier in the last episode on the East Asia portion of the entrance building is I really liked how those turned out on that roof there. And then of course we got to put the signage, and now to work on the final building. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna leave you guys for a second, and I will be back. Alrighty, so here we are at the end of the build, sort of, at least what I got on camera. Some of the things that I do off camera are the foliage around the staff building, and I'm not sure if I do that as a start of the next episode, or if I just start off with the stuff already in place. I think it's already in place, so I think I did everything off camera, but we're going to jump into the live play here, and you'll see everything that I have done off camera. Now, the one thing with this live play, I'm going to build a wall around the panda exhibit so you can't see what I've done, to keep it a surprise for the next episode. So see you on the flip side. All right, and welcome to the live play. So I wanted to start it off at night here so you could see what I did to this beautiful tree in the front of the entrance here. And like I said, I raised it And then I decided to put lights around it and make it a rainbow tree. Now, one of the things that I really don't understand is how the lighting is working so differently. It's the same light, it's as in Planet Coaster, but it's just so much more intense. Like, wow, like, really? Anyways, and I put lights in the path. I can't remember if that was on the video or not. But yeah, and here's the entrance. You've got 4 regular entrance lanes, I guess you could say. 2 lanes for members, and then there's something that I'm calling express ticket holders. Basically because I didn't want to put 4 of each, entrance and members and stuff. So there's that. Let me go ahead and we'll pop the UI back up, and I'm going to change it back to daytime. Alright, let me pop that UI off. Alright, so we come on through, and here we have our info booths in this whole building. Now, I believe I did this mural off camera, I think. I don't remember discussing it. So there's that. And I thought that turned out rather well. I used it on both sides of this building. And then I put, little touches around, lights, foliage, and this beautiful little central building here. Got some African, stuff on this side, and then the East Asia banners on this side. Man, this takes forever to turn, but here is... So when I was discussing that font earlier, that's what this is. This right here is that beautiful font, and I think it just looks so much more clean and all that stuff. But here's what the building turned out like. Like I said, I knocked off the top here and then put it down. And then here's the Americas, and you can see the font here again. Whoops. And then Africa. And what I did was, instead of having it 2-tiered at the top, I just brought the towers down. I think it looks awesome. And then this is the only one that has a sign that juts out because of the eaves of the thatch would have obscured it. So I thought that was cool. And one of the things that I really enjoyed working on, something I did off camera, was putting the wood paneling like thing that I did down here over these windows. And it looks really cool. At least in my opinion, it looks really cool. Whoops. I almost went in to show you that thing that I'm hiding. And then here's the staff buildings. I haven't put anything behind them yet because does it really matter? Not really. And of course we've got the awning. And then this awning here is pretty cool. And just put in the bamboo to surround it. And yeah. There's a nice little overview. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that UI back up. I'm going to put it back into night mode. Give it a second to warm up here. And then I've got lights here on the top of this building and the top of this building to help light this mural. Because the lights that are down here didn't cover the giraffe and the top of the elephant. So it was a little wonky. So I had to add lights. And then we have The way the etched glass right here, these three, look at night is awesome with this lighting. I'm in love with it. And then we have the lights for the signs. And the slight little lighting here, which is just... What in the world? Hang on. Oh my goodness. There we go. Crazy. Okay, and then we've got the lighting on the shields here, which I think looks rather well too. And come around to the back side. And it's just more of the same. And then I like the light coming through the windows on this building. I think it's awesome. So yeah, that's it so far. That took 3 episodes to get to this point. Just wow. All right, so we've reached the end of this episode. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below on what you think so far. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm that casual gaming guy, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.